Hey guys, Miss Polar Bear here, checking in with you guys on this lovely Wednesday morning. So I know we had some snow last night, but that's not going to stop us from learning some pretty awesome grammar rules today. Now before we get to adjectives, we're going to review some nouns and proper nouns. So I'd like to turn your attention to this lovely whiteboard behind me. So today we're going to focus on nouns, common and proper. Now remember, common nouns, they're not capitalized and they're not specific. Think of it kind of random and very generally speaking. For example, the girl. We don't know anything about her. We just know her as the girl. Kind of random, right? On the other side of that, we have proper, which are always capitalized, very specific. For example, Sally. Sally is the name of the girl. We actually have her name here, so that is our proper noun. Another example of a proper noun is any name of a restaurant. So for example, I like that restaurant. If that's your sentence, restaurant is a common noun because we don't know which one you're talking about. But if you say, I like Wendy's, Wendy's is the restaurant. And that's the proper noun. So the next thing I'd like to turn our attention to is pronouns. Now we did quite a bit of lengthy work with pronouns because there are several types. And there are a lot more than the 4 that we learned, but these are the 4 that you guys are going to focus on for our unit in grammar. So the first one we learned is subject. Now this one usually always comes at the beginning of a thought, statement, sentence, phrase, clause, you name it. So the examples are I, you, he, she, it, we, you all. So I put all here because that means a you plural. Like you kids are learning pronouns. You're learning pronouns. They. Example, I knew that the ball was mine. Let's go back to the beginning. I is the subject pronoun. You can substitute that out for any one of these. I, you knew, he knew, she knew, and so forth. And the second one I want to focus on is object. And this usually comes at the end of a sentence, statement, clause, phrase, you name it, or after an action. For example, throw it. What are you throwing? You're throwing it. I mean, you could substitute it out for any one of these, like throw him or throw her, throw him to the ground, or any kind of example, but please don't throw anyone to the ground. Throw it to them. To who? To them. Notice how it's coming after any kind of action. Throwing is the action, and to is the action. To who? To them. To you, to us, to it, to her, to him, to you, to me. Any one of those. Now the third kind of pronoun is possessive. Mine, yours, his, etc. Anything that talks about owning something or possessing something. I knew that the ball was mine. The ball was whose? The ball was mine. Ball was hers. The ball was yours. Now the last kind of pronoun that we talked about in class is reflexive. Now think mirrors. When you look in a mirror, what do you see? You see yourself. Yourself. The dead giveaway here is the word self or selves. If you see that attached to my, your, him or her, our, ourselves, you know you're dealing with reflexive. So the example here is you, subject pronoun, yourself, reflexive, can do the job. You yourself can click on this video. So that's a review of previously learned grammar mechanics, and now we're going to look in and zoom in on adjectives. So adjectives, generally speaking, adjectives have a pretty simple job. They describe a noun, and they typically indicate quality, size, shape, duration meaning time, feelings or contents, and they provide relevant information, especially to a question. What color is the car? It is red, describing a quality. Now there are a lot of different kind of adjectives, and we are going to break them down into categories, and you will be tested on them. But I'm going to give you the first 3 qualities right here. So let's look at this lovely poster on adjectives, the first 3 elements. So the first 3 kind of adjectives we're going to be looking at is descriptive, quantitative, and proper. So let's look at this green one first. Descriptive. Describes nouns, pronouns, most adjectives, Example, I have a fast car. What kind of car do you have? A fast car. The hungry cats are crying. What kind of cats? They're hungry. Meow. So the second kind of adjective is quantitative. Quantitative meaning quantity. Oop, Ozzy, hey! Provides info on how much of something. Think numbers. Example, you have 20 bucks, $20 bill. How many bucks do you have? 20. They have 3 children. How many children? 3. 1, 2, 3. The last kind of adjective we're going to look at is proper, the adjective form of proper nouns, and they are capitalized. Think proper nouns here. So for example, let's go back here. They're capitalized, Sally, like Sally, Wendy's, Sylvan Street, anything. For example, I like Italian food. So Italy is a noun. Italy is a place on the map, a place in this world. It's a country. I like Italian food. Italian is describing what kind of food I like. And I like spaghetti and meatballs. I like Italian food. Another example is she likes McDonald's burgers. Now, McDonald's alone is a place. It's a restaurant. It's a proper noun all by itself. I am going to McDonald's. I'm going where? I'm going to McDonald's. But what kind of burgers do I like? I like McDonald's burgers. McDonald's is describing something here. What kind of burgers? McDonald's burgers. Go to the Golden Arches. So that is today's lesson on adjectives. I hope you enjoyed it. Shortly there will be questions posted, and eventually there will be a little mini quiz on these 3 kinds of adjectives. Bye.